last week.
NFL Week 7. Week 7. Man, we were just talking before the show that bettors actually did better last week against the book than probably they did all week in the NFL. We did pretty good. I went 4-1. What was the show record last week?
8-4, I think, something around in there.
Pretty solid week. That's a money-making week for sure. So that's exciting. I'm excited. I'm excited for these picks this week too. I think we're just gonna keep this rolling. Any games you're particularly excited about this week?
Man, Falcons. That'll be a fun one. But I'm really excited to see what happens with the Jets.
I'm excited to see Davante Adams back with Aaron Rodgers. As much as I don't like Aaron Rodgers, I do miss Davante Adams having a good quarterback because he is one of my favorite receivers. And I'm excited he's off the Raiders as a Broncos fan. So, all good things there.
I'm really curious to see how that turns out, especially as a fantasy owner of Garrett Wilson in about 4 leagues.
I'm the opposite. I got Davante Adams, and I've just been sitting on him for the whole first half of the season.
That's a painful weight game that you just had to do.
Indeed, he's one of those guys you can't drop in your fantasy league, but he's also doing nothing for you
with his hamstring injury.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're gonna do game picks first, then we're gonna go through player props. I'm going to kick us off with the Lions at the Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings on the money line. You can get that minus 125. They are the favorites here. I got the Vikings coming off a bye. This is a division game, so it's a very important game for them to come into. They've been prepping for 2 weeks for this game now. The Lions are not coming off a bye. And then the Vikings also have a top 3 defense here. To go up against the Lions, and it is a dome. So, like, these offenses are going to score, but the Vikings should have the edge on defense to keep them back a little more. And then both have top 6 offenses, with obviously the Lions having the top offense in the NFL, the top scoring offense. Vikings with the 6th offense. So, really, things are pretty even here. Give me the home team in a division game, though, with a better defense. The way the Vikings have been playing, I like them to win this game this week.
Yeah, I like it a lot. To add to that, the Jets, the Lions obviously love to run the ball. The Vikings have like the 5th best rushing defense in the league as well, and so they're going to have to lean on that passing game a little bit more, and they can with both running backs out of the backfield. And we see that every week with Jahmyr Gibbs, but this Vikings team, man, it's kind of special out there right now. It's a fun storyline. So I love following the line there.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings do give up more passing yards than anything, but I think this could all kind of even out and be maybe the game of the week for us here. All right, you got to pick on the Patriots game, though.
Yeah, this is so disgusting and scary, but I'm taking the Pats plus
this is pretty bad teams we're betting on here.
Oh my God, I know. Give me the Pats plus 5.5 against the Jags. Last week, I said I was betting against the rookie quarterbacks, and it worked out well, but it wasn't because Drake May sucked. He threw for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. Houston just had their way with the defense over there. So he did throw for 2 interceptions, so he's got to protect the football. But the Jags are in 30th place in takeaways in the NFL right now. Woo. So that doesn't worry me too much. Last week, he threw for more touchdowns in one game than the Pats had in the previous 5 weeks combined. So this team is a very different team with Drake May at quarterback. I feel very strongly about letting rookie quarterbacks develop before you force them into action. So I kind of hate it for his long-term effect here, but I do think he is the best play for the team right now. Jacoby Myers has just been really bad. So Jacoby Myers, that's not the right name. Brissett.
Yeah, there you
go. Why am I forgetting his name? Anyways, so yeah, give me the Pats plus 5.5.
I just sorry, Stefan, you're not here for this NFL show. And I'm sure he would agree, though, that the Jaguars to beat anybody by a spread bigger than 2.5 essentially is not doable to me.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's the Patriots
all season. And I looked ahead of their schedule. Yeah. I don't think they will for the rest of the year. It's not an easy road ahead.
Yeah, it's not a good year for the Jags. Sorry, Stefan.
I will point out that the question mark in my line here is not a typo. Yes, are they really considered home in London? I don't know.
I knew what you were saying. I think the Jaguars are like they have spent enough time in London. Like the NFL has intentionally put them there. If you look at that stadium, they have. Is it a home field advantage yet? Probably not. But like there are like they're trying to build Jaguars fans so that they can move them to London, and it's kind of working. Like there are a lot of Jags jerseys and stuff out in that stadium.
As soon as the firing is about to happen with the next head coach here, I wonder if it's sooner than later.
I think Doug Peterson is probably the next coach to get fired for sure. Awesome. So I'm going to take us to the Jets at the Steelers. Give me the Jets to beat the Steelers straight up. Give me the Jets on the money line. I just think Devontae Adams has an instant impact there. There's no transition needed. Like him and Aaron Rodgers, he already knows the offense. Him and Aaron Rodgers already know all the routes that they like to run together. Instant impact there. Honestly, if the Jets can make a field goal, they're going to win this game. Like if they keep missing field goals, maybe it's closer. But I just don't think Fields or Russell Wilson. I know Mike Tomlin's playing like it's a choice, but I think it'll be Fields.
I think it'll be Russ.
Either way, the Jets D is going to eat against both of them, and I think have a big game. We are vying for. We made a comment a few weeks ago on who was the worst 3-0 team, the Seahawks or the Steelers, and both of them, I think, keep losing. Well, the Steelers, I think, pulled one off. So I think I was correct on the Seahawks so far, but we'll see if the Steelers can correct me on actually being a bad team that's 4-2.
Man, I love this pick. Get out the fade calculator, because you know that pass is about to happen every other throw now. But
yes,
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has thrown for 2 touchdowns in every game except for one this year. As bad as the offense has looked, they looked way better last week. And then you throw Adams on the field. I do think this Jets team is going to be a different team. Is it enough for a playoff run? Good question, but they're getting more firepower now, and I think it's going, even if it's just a confidence boost for Rodgers to finally stop yelling at every receiver on the field. I'm kind of curious if that continues with Adams now, but man, I love this play a lot.
He'll be a nice buffer, I think, for the rest of the team. And Aaron Rodgers actually, as much of a dick Aaron Rodgers is, I think Devontae Adams actually brings a buffer to that situation.
It's fair,
for sure. So, all right, you have a pick for the Texans at the Packers.
Yeah, give me over 47.5. I think this is the first game all year that I've taken an over and actually been excited about it because it's the NFL. Joe Mixon is back and healthy, and with Joe Mixon on the field, the Texans are averaging just over 29 points a game, and the Packers are right around that with Love healthy as well. Both are running the ball well. Both are passing well. Even with Nico out, Tank and Stephon Diggs are holding their own just fine. Both defenses have given up 20+ multiple times this year to far lesser offenses.
Yeah.
And I think they just show up and they play their best here. My only concern is that the Packers tend to play one half of football and one half they just kind of take off. So it just kind of depends on if Love can kind of get going early enough here. But I mean, 47.5 feels pretty low in this one to me.
Yeah, that's great. I like this pick too. We don't give a lot of totals out on NFL games because they're pretty rough. I rarely do well on NFL totals, but I like this one in particular. All right. Let's go over to the Ravens at Bucks. Give me the Ravens -3.5. The Ravens have, man, just maybe I'm just buying like the ESPN hype, but just like this prolific rushing offense that they are doing, like that they are running right now is absolutely crazy. And they are running at will. The Buccaneers don't have a terrible run defense, but it's not necessarily elite. Yeah, you're supposed to take the 3.5, right? Vegas is telling you they want you to take the Tampa Bay in this game. And to me, that gives a lot of skepticism. I think the Ravens are going to get rolling here after a slow start to the season. And give me the Ravens to win by more than 3.5 here.
Yeah, I like it. My only concern here is how susceptible they are to the pass and how Baker Mayfield he's so streaky. And he can just show up one day and throw for 500 yards like it's nothing.
And I need some Baker interceptions this weekend.
That's the other thing is he does that a lot too. So, but I get it. Like, I mean, Derrick Henry is just doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Even though it looks like he's like jogging, he's running faster than anybody else on the field. It's kind of wild, but yeah, I like this a lot.
Awesome. And you are taking, I feel like this is a faux pas, but you are taking your own team as a favorite for your last pick here.
I am, and it's because they're playing your argument for the worst 3-0 team, the Seahawks.
That's fair.
Give me the Falcons minus 2.5. Falcons are at home. They've only gotten better every single week. Kirk Cousins is getting everybody on the field involved across the field. I mean, you're pulling out players you haven't heard of in 5 years. I think they're finally finding the healthy split at running back, even though it kind of hurts to see Bijan kind of going down a little bit from a snap percentage from a fantasy perspective. He's staying healthier and he looks more electric every time he gets the ball now. So I like them to keep rolling here. Seattle, they've looked fine at times, man, but defensively, they're still giving up a lot of points. So
they looked sad last week. They were sad.
Oh yeah, very much so. Like Geno he looks rushed. He looks like he's gonna poop his pants every time. It reminds me of his "Oh my God" video when he was getting blitzed by Aaron Donald against LA that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So Atlanta's just looked really good. Seattle hasn't looked great to win by a field goal. I love this at home. So minus 2.5.
Love it. All right, let's move into some player props here. I'll get us kicked off. Give me J.K. Dobbins anytime touchdown here. Arizona Cardinals give up the third most rushing touchdowns, and Dobbins, after 4 years of drafting this man in fantasy football, is finally paying off for me. He looked good against the Broncos last week, who have had actually a really solid defense. So J.K. Dobbins anytime touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals. What about you?
Yeah, I like it. I'm taking Brian Robinson anytime touchdown if he's healthy at minus 145.
I almost did that.
I mean, you cut it last week with the Panthers, how many touchdowns they give up to the running back, and they gave up 3 last week. They're giving up 2 rushing touchdowns per game. And Brian Robinson has scored a touchdown. I think it was in every game except for 1 this year. If Robinson ends up not playing, I will be changing this to probably Jaden Daniels, but I will be taking some version of a rushing touchdown against Carolina this week. Ideally, Brian Robinson if he's healthy.
Your reason for Robinson is my same reason for McLaurin, which gives me a little like we probably shouldn't be picking 2 players to score a touchdown in the same game, but I don't really care. It's the Panthers. Same exact argument. Carolina gives up 2 passing touchdowns per game as well. So give me
team total over 28 at least.
So if you look at anytime touchdowns, it's something like Robinson, Daniels, McLaurin for best odds. So or vice versa, however I said it. So pretty much the exact same argument. I don't really have anything to add, but I do like your Saquon pick here.
Yeah, man. Saquon 80 plus rushing yards. Get it at minus was it minus 110? Minus 120, sorry. It's the revenge game of the century. We all know the saga that's happened over the offseason, and Barkley's hit this as it is every game except for last week. Throwing the fact that the Giants are giving up 116 yards a game. This feels easy to me, especially with the drama behind it. You can also get him anytime touchdown was like minus 160, but if you wanted to sprinkle a first touchdown, I think it was at like plus 600. So
nice.
That's spicy.
Yeah, we need to give out some more sprinkles. I like that a lot. All right. My last player prop, and then you got 2 more for us. I got Justin Jefferson over 92.5 receiving yards. He's just the guy, like probably best wide receiver in the NFL. Lions give up 246 yards a game. That receiving yards a game, that's 5th worst. I think they'll give up more than that this week. And you can't tell me that Justin Jefferson doesn't get close to half of that receiving yardage. So feels easy to me going against these defenses that are bottom in these statistics has worked out really well for us the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I love it. I think we said week 1 that as long as this number was below 90, we were going to take it every week. And I think we only took it 1 week, but he's gone over that like every week. So I don't know why we've been sleeping on it.
I don't know. No. This is close enough to 90 though.
I agree. I love this. I love this a lot, especially as much as they're going to have to throw the ball here. So
awesome.
Yeah.
We're making a Drake May pick.
Dude, I know. Like this feels so icky, but
you have multiple Patriots picks.
I know it's kind of gross. Gary Wright, this is for you, my guy. Drake May over 200 passing yards at minus 125. He's playing the Jags, who give up 276 yards a game after going at 243 and 3 last week. He's not going to have to air it out like he did last week against Houston, but this Jags defense is way worse than Houston's defense is as well. Jags are in last place in yards given up to the quarterback. So at only 200 yards, I do like this to hit at minus 125. And then my last one is Joe Mixon over 62 rush yards. I didn't put the juice in there, but it's minus 112.
Nice.
He's been over 100 yards in every game that he's played this year. Enough
Wow.
said. He's now
That's
granted
crazy.
it's only been 2 games that he's been healthy. The other game he was on pace for it and then he got injured. But man, when he's playing, like he's a whole new guy out there in Houston. It's
Yeah.
everything since he wishes they had when he was there. And he just has it now. They've schemed it up, the offense upright for him, and he's doing everything he wants. So Joe Mixon over 62 and a half rush yards.
Awesome. That is it. This is the part of the show where we run down our picks. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts, and hit all the wonderful buttons for us. Go check out the College Football Show as well. All right. Here's our picks. I have the Lions at Vikings. Give me the Vikings to win straight up on the money line. Give me the Jets money line versus the Steelers. And then give me the Ravens minus 3.5 versus the Buccaneers.
I've got the Patriots plus 5.5 at the Jaguars / London. Texans at Packers over 47.5, and Seahawks at the Falcons minus 2.5.
Wonderful. For player props, I have J.K. Dobbins anytime touchdown. McLaurin for the Commanders anytime touchdown, and then Justin Jefferson over 92.5 receiving yards.
Love it. I've got Brian Robinson anytime touchdown if he's healthy. Saquon Barkley 80 plus rush yards. Drake May over 200 pass yards, and Joe Mixon over 62.5 rushing yards.
Awesome. That is it, everyone. We will see you next week. Let's go make some money this weekend.
Hey.